I posted last night about how I think that speaking clearly is more important than speaking like a native speaker. And I also said that in some situations, maybe speaking like a native speaker will be helpful for you. If you want to go to America and you want people to accept you as an American, maybe you have just gotten your citizenship in America, but people still know that you are not from America because of the way that you speak. Then, in that situation, trying to sound like a native speaker, that's a good goal. It will help you to feel more comfortable and more accepted. But if your goal is to communicate with people effectively in your company, and your company is in Thailand or Spain or somewhere, and the main language that is spoken in the company is English, speaking like a native English speaker in an international environment is not really going to help you, because those other people are also probably not native speakers. So what you need is you need to make sure that they understand what you're saying and that you make communication easier for everybody. So because of that, speaking clearly and saying, hey, what do you want to do after work, is more important than saying, hey, what you want to do after work? Because the first one, everybody will understand you. The second one, only people with higher levels of English will understand you. If I say, what did you do yesterday? A lot of people will understand me. But if I say, hey, what did you do yesterday? A lot more people will understand me. So I believe that that language is more helpful and better for communication than the natural sounding language. So the natural sounding language, sounding like a native speaker, can help you to fit in and help people to accept you more if you are in that country. But in an international environment, I don't see any advantage in speaking like a native speaker. I think it's more helpful to speak the way that I speak. I always use correct grammar, and I pronounce things pretty naturally, but I slow my speech down a little bit, and I focus on the individual sounds in my words so that people don't need to ask me to repeat myself. When I'm speaking, people don't need to say, hey, slow down, hey, say that again, because the way that I'm saying it is clear. And I believe that if your goal is effective communication, speaking the way that I speak is much more useful than speaking quickly and unclearly the way that native speakers speak. Okay, so that's what I mean by that post. However, I don't really know what you mean when you say I want to speak like a native speaker. That's the way that I understand it, is that you want to sound like a native speaker. If you mean that you just want to have the same English knowledge and vocabulary and grammar as a native speaker, I think that's a great goal. However, that's a really, really high goal. And I think that 90% of people will never work hard enough to reach that goal, because that's very, very, very high. You need to be studying every day, listening to English every day, living in English to actually reach native speaker level. However, becoming fluent in English, I think that's really the best goal. Being able to pronounce sounds correctly, being able to listen well, and being able to express your ideas fluently, I think that's a perfect goal, because everybody can do that. It's not that difficult to do if you just study a little bit every day, listen a little bit every day. You can become fluent pretty easily if you do it every day and you focus and you care about it. If you're 30 years old and you want to sound like a native speaker, that's a really, really difficult thing to do. It's possible. It's possible for everybody, but I just don't think that most people will work hard enough to do that. And hey, maybe you want to go to America and you want to sound like an American person. If that's your goal and you're going to work hard and do it, yeah, do it. That's awesome. I support you. But I just want everybody to understand that that takes a lot of work. And if you work in an international environment, that is an unnecessarily high goal. You don't need that. You just need good listening skills. You need correct pronunciation, correct grammar. And if you have those things, your communication will be great. Sounding like a native speaker, not really important, not going to be very helpful in an international environment. But if you want to go to America and sound American, yeah, that will help you. But when you leave America, is it going to be helpful? Probably not as much as speaking clearly.